Shalom, shalom, peace. What's going on, family? I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High while you have a shy. That's off the rip. You know what time it is? DSTM. I believe we're on episode 137. All praises to the Most High for that. It's hump day. Y'all know what time it is. Middle of the week. We just trying to truck through, man. We're trying to get to that 7 days so that we can embrace our rest and our restoration to reconnect with the Father again after 6 days of labor, right? So you've reached it. You know who it is. It's your brother IQAhmath. I acquired first name. IQ is all the same. Here to give you another current event episode of Don't Shoot the Messenger. You see the titling. A lot of things that's happening. I'm only going to cover a couple of things. Most High permit this Sabbath. We'll get into some more in-depth understandings of what's been happening currently. But yeah, slow Biden. He's already signed a bill to assemble a task force, so to speak. Those was my words, not his. But he's going after that PP, all the PPP, EDD, all them scams that was going on. Everybody was out there getting that money. I told y'all a long time ago. When all them jakes is out there getting all that money, you was buying the cars, renting boats, buying the new clothes, bags of your best loud and weed, sipping the best of lean, tricking on prostitutes, huh? Sisters out there buying your red bottoms and the eyelashes and the lace fronts and all that. If y'all remember the sister that got caught up, she went. It was a story. The sister got caught up with the fraud stuff. She went down to Atlanta for All-Star Weekend. Came back, had a nice little time. Then next thing you know, the broad is out here begging everybody. Started a GoFundMe, talking about how the FBI and the IRS is after her, and she needs help, y'all. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. You know that there's a super spreader event going on. We'll talk about that. You know what I'm talking about. And it's ironic, the people that are testing positive all follow protocol. All were ones endorsing, saying, "Get it. You won't get the other thing." Hint, hint. You know what I'm talking about. So we'll talk a little bit about that. Your man Donald Trump, or Chump, is making veiled threats. He's speaking in code to his right-wing followers, saying very terrible things are going to happen after this FBI raid. Then you see why you see all these little wind-up dog cats, these rogue, Edomites running out here, driving up to FBI buildings, getting shot and killed, driving over to Washington, D.C., trying to incite hysteria because they want to get their saviors back, the white Messiah. We're going to talk about a couple of those things. We also had a sister, man, in Charlottesville, notorious for I want to say it was Antifa and that whole riot, and Edomite ran down and killed a woman in the midst of a protest. Remember that? Charlottesville, where they had the first black police chief who was a female, and she got fired because the Edomite cops under her would not comply. And if you remember, I covered a story about the other sister in South Carolina. She was the controller, or the supervisor over the county. The whole department quit. The whole police department quit because they wasn't going to serve under a nigger woman. How about that? Those are my words, not theirs, but that's what they're saying. That's what they're thinking. So we're going to look at a few things today, y'all. Let's go ahead and get things cracking. Let's get things cracking. You know what? Hold on. Let me see if I can find this. I want to see if I can find this video first before we get to it. Hopefully everybody's doing well today. And if you have not yet, do your brother that solid. Don't make me repeat myself. You know what I'm talking about. Wipe your feet. Wipe your feet, would you please? Wipe your feet, man. Hit the like button. Get the algorithms going. Let's notify brothers and sisters that are looking for this information, that we are alive. That means that we're here, that we're putting out this information. A new episode of DSTM has dropped so that they can tune on in. Okay. Uh, 1 second, y'all. Here we go. Here we go. All right. So let's go ahead and get to the business at hand. Let me share this. So let's look at this together, y'all. Okay. Let me close this out. You see it, I see it. Slow Biden, man, and Esau is not going to sit back and allow some folly to go on. Now, you know what's interesting is there was a lot of Hollywood folks that got them PPP loans and they got let off. Now, maybe they had legitimate reasons that that they filed. Remember the PPP loans was loans for small businesses so that they can maintain payroll, so that they can keep the doors open during the pandemic and all of that, right? Kanye got like $2.4 million in PPP loans. Jay-Z got 2 point something million. A few other celebrities did. Now we're talking billionaires. Why would they need money to help sustain business? That's the shady part. You know what? Let me show y'all, because you don't think I'm I'm tripping a little bit. Now they're safe. Hold on, they're safe. Let me see, where's that at? I seen it earlier. If it takes me too long to find it, I'm gonna bounce out. Most I permit, I'll get it. No, here we go. Here we go. Look at this. The rich get richer, huh? It pays to be rich. America's wealthiest, including Tom Brady, Khloe Kardashian, Reese Witherspoon, Kanye, and Nancy Pelosi's drunk husband, took millions in PPP loans, and nearly all have been forgiven. They're okay. Hey, but Shaquanda, that fronted on that paperwork and said she got a nail shop. Jose, that said he's got a liquor store. The rest of y'all, you know who you are. That was out there running scams, saying there's free money out there, and you listen to to your best friend, who all of a sudden knows all about paperwork and loans and everything else. Oh yeah, I got the hookup, man. I got the paperwork. All you gotta do is sign here. You gonna get 10,000 off the. You want 10? Or you want 50? Whatever you want, I can get it. Just give me my 10%. Yeah, I know how the hustle was going. See, but the problem is that Shaquanda and Jose and Tyrone and the rest of y'all, you didn't have the attorneys, you didn't have the correct people behind you to make sure that those loans get forgiven. I mean, because you got to ask yourself, why would these celebrities need loans? You telling me Tom Brady can't afford to maintain whatever businesses he has? Khloe Kardashian, she can't. Kanye, they couldn't maintain. Nancy Pelosi husband out there begging? No, they just know how to commit white collar crime. They're out here rubbing elbows with the highest thieves on the market. I mean, the highest thieves known to man. They rubbing elbows with Esau, saying this is how you do this. I'm talking about, these Jakes is in here. Kanye, Jay-Z. They know how to get this. Look, celebrities including Kanye, Jay-Z, and Khloe Kardashian have received millions in government PPP protection program loans set up to desperate business hit by the pandemic. Desperate, huh? So they're desperate. As much as we hear about the money and all the stuff that they got. Haven't they been celebrating Kanye as being the first a billionaire and all of that? Right? Hold on 1 second, y'all. I think my computer is, let me see. Yeah, my computer's tripping. Battery is getting low. But anyway, we see here, right? Hold on 1 second, cause let me plug this in. All right, there we go. All right, Shalaki, y'all. So, um, where were we? Shalaki. So we're seeing here, celebrities know how to get the hustles, man. They know how to get this money. So all of a sudden, Jay-Z, Kanye, and Khloe Kardashian all had businesses that got hit, and they were desperate to maintain their businesses to keep open. Now it's one of two things: either these people are out here fronting for the public and they ain't really got it how they say they do, or they just pulled off another lick and got millions of dollars, and then had the right people in place to make sure that it got utilized properly or covered up properly, right? DailyMail.com can now reveal the exact amounts that these millionaires took out via government programs. Kanye West's Yeezy LLC borrowed 2.3. I'm just saying 2.3 just to get over the number. 2.3 million. He damn near got 2.4 million dollars, with 1,772,689 being spent on payroll for 106 staff. So clearly, I mean, he's making a wise business move. I'm not going to take it out of my pocket. They got a loan that I can take out so I can pay my people. Okay, cool. So he didn't spend 1.7 million. Where the other rest of the money went, who knows? Khloe Kardashian's denim brand, Good American LLC, had a loan of 1.2 million approved on April 14, 2020, mostly for the payroll of 57 workers. The full amount plus interest was forgiven. White privilege at its finest. So she couldn't pay her workers. She had 1.2 million, right? In most cases, the loans have been forgiven, so the full amount, including interest, will not have to be repaid despite the owner's wealth. So the rich get richer, right? But check this out. Hey, Keisha, Jeremiah, Shaquanda, Lil Ray Ray, all of y'all, hey, you ain't forgiven. They coming after you. Redneck Bob, that came up, all of y'all, they're coming. Okay. Biden signs bill tackling COVID relief fraud into law. Okay, so now he's creating the law. Look what he's saying. The two new laws will extend the time period prosecutors have to prosecute individuals who committed fraud through the Paycheck Protection Program or the DVOG 91 Economic Injury Disaster Loan Program, extending the statute of limitations for criminal and civil enforcement borrower for 10 years. So what this is saying is that now they've extended the statute of limitations, which means they have up to 10 years to track down everybody. And if you remember and know, he also just signed he just signed that bill that they're going to employ and enforce the IRS with 80,000 new agents. That's right. So he's getting the detectives on the spot, and they said that they're going to be armed and going door to door. Speaking about the IRS agents, some of them will be armed and prepared to go door to door. Audits are going to be performed. They're coming. Esau wants that money back. That's why when all you Jakes sitting around here showing your teeth, some of y'all went out there and got your veneers and got your teeth done. All that stuff. Remember, Ecclesiastes 7:7, the Most High says that surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, and a gift destroyeth the heart. That little gift, that little trinket that he gave you, that little hope and inspiration that made you go vote for slow Biden, that little thing that made you feel like, oh, the good times is rolling. I got this money. I invested everything in crypto, and that thing done doubled and tripled. And I got all this money now, even though you're taking L's now with your crypto and your stock investments. Esau always comes back, man. The house always wins. I say that all the time. He's gonna come back. He wants his money, right? But all of the little gifts now have destroyed the minds of our people because they were out here thinking that they was out here doing it big. Look at this. Let's go to Psalm. Psalm 37. Uh, let me see here. And some people may have used it. I'm not condemning everybody that went out there and did it. If you really needed it, you had to do what you had to do. The scriptures even say that. Nobody despises a thief if he's still because he's hungry. But you got to pay back sevenfold if you get caught. So this is what it is. But there was a lot of our people who was out there living evil, reckless, and wicked, capitalizing on what they thought was a free money hustle. And now all of a sudden Esau is saying, remember, these was quote unquote loans that you will have to pay back in certain instances unless you're completely forgiven. Well, we see who's being forgiven. The wealthy, the rich, they get their loans forgiven. Just like the banks. Banks is too big to fail. They go out here and they sign people up to these loans that people can't pay back and mortgages and all this other stuff. And then they say, you know what? We signed all these people up to these bad business deals. We made all this money on interest and all of that. But guess what? Now the people can't pay. The banks is in trouble. We can't fail. And guess what? Obama bailed out all the banks. Remember that? And they said, what? The banks is too big to fail. So we got to give them whatever they need to continue on. Ain't no difference in what's happening with these rich folks that's out here getting money. They committing fraud and crimes too. But they know how to play the game. They got the complexion for the connection. You niggas don't. Hello? So look at this. The Lord said, Psalms 37:9, for evildoers shall be cut off, but those that wait upon the Lord, they shall inherit the earth. We're waiting for a bigger treasure. We're waiting for a bigger prize. Those are trying to be rich on earth right now, you're going to pay the price. For yet a little while, and the wicked shall not be. Yea, thou shalt diligently consider his place, and it shall not be. So even Esau, man, the wicked, the 2/3 of Israel, the Lord said the wicked soon enough won't be any more. But who? The meek shall inherit the earth, and shall delight themselves in the abundance of peace. Well, this is what Christ was quoting in Matthew, the 5th chapter. The wicked plotted against the just and gnashed upon him with his teeth. So we know that the so-called white man and the rest of the wicked nations are plotting against the just. That's why they're out here censoring everything that we say, trying to shut us up, getting us off the corners, disinformation campaigns, sending out, fraudulent apologists, trying to discredit the history of the Israelites. I mean, everything. They're a crackpot, cult group, and all that stuff is played out, man. You know how long they've been saying that we're a cult and all this other stuff? You're talking 30, 40 years now. I mean, that's burnt out, man. What we do see is a great awakening and a rising of the children of Israel as it's prophesied out the Bible. They're kicking against the pricks, in other words. The scriptures say they can do nothing against the truth but for the truth. So everything that they do, from the Hocab Malones and the rest of these bootlicking preachers out there doing, there's nothing that you can do against the truth, but you can only be for it. You can only help promote. You can only help the cause. Do you understand that? Or have you not figured that out yet? You still think you're on the winning team, waving your God bless America. We got to love everybody. Color doesn't matter. Oh, history, the slave trade didn't happen. I mean, listen, man, there's no rewards for your folly. And there's no rewards for you selling out, man. You're going to get done dirty just like the rest of the sellouts in Uncle Tom's. The wicked can plot against the just and gnash upon him with his teeth. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he shall see that his day is coming. Who said the Most High don't have a sense of humor? Look at this. A little that a righteous man hath is better than the riches of many wicked. That's why we're going to see a mass crackdown on your people. You better tell your people, tell your friends, tell your family who was out there living it up, that was out there getting that bread. And if this applies to you, if you was out there saying, you know what, I need this money, man. They talking about I can get 25 racks. And all I gotta do is sign this paperwork and said that I had a barbershop or whatever. All the little gig economies, all that stuff, man. Esau is coming for it. The IRS task for it, the 80,000, they coming. Look, I didn't cover this. I don't think I did in the previous DSTM, but just to show real quick. Let me see here. Now this is a different headline, but it says Biden's plan to hire 80,000 IRS agents will backfire, letting wealthy dodge taxes, experts warn. The purpose of that is to know that he is hired and has a program set up to hire more than 80,000 additional IRS agents, right? Um, Let me see something right quick. Let me see if this pulls up something. Uh, let's see here. I'm just trying to find a good source for what I'm trying to pull up. Let's look at the Washington Examiner. An IRS that's armed and dangerous. The Biden administration has a lot of nerve proposing to double the budget for the IRS service and add 87,000 employees. This plan is set to become law as part of a soon to be enacted Inflation Reduction Act, and it comes around the same time as the outrageous FBI raid of former President Donald Trump compound in Mar-a-Lago, Florida. The Biden administration has converted the FBI and Justice Department into functionaries of the Democratic Party's character assassination campaign. They think they'll do the same with a Yankee Stadium full of IRS auditors. They will be on search and destroy missions. Let me see if I can. Now the folks at openthebooks.com report that the IRS is armed with several real weapons, guns, ammunition, and military equipment. The and this is quote The Internal Revenue Service, with its 2,159 quote special agents, spent 21.3 million on guns, ammunition, military-style equipment between the fiscal years of 2006 and 2019. The agency stockpiled 4,500 guns and 5 million rounds of ammunition. Interesting. How many of the new 87 agents will be armed, and why does the tax collection agency need guns? Well, I'll leave you guys with that. I'll leave you guys with that because that's off the beaten path. I wasn't even supposed to. I wasn't even gonna go there, but the fact remains that this is all part of the centralization of cracking down on political opposition for the Democrats and for Esau, right? Because just like I made mention last Sabbath in the last episode of DSTM, that right in the same time frame of the Democrats' greatest enemy, Trump, there was a Pan African group out of St. Louis. They got raided, talking about that they were getting assistance from a Russian, some Russian agent or something, and they were going to be used to funnel in Russian propaganda and could be spies or whatever. They got raided. So the next thing they're going to look at is, well, where's the money going? You guys are nonprofit. Where's the other? And see, their problem is that they was getting the majority of their funds and their quote unquote reparation payments from white folks. Now, who's to say these white folks wasn't compromised and some of them was operating with the Russians? Somebody set them up. But we're gonna see whatever comes of that. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about that later this weekend. But for now, we're just gonna keep it moving and lock in on this one more time. So everything is lining up to where he can go ahead. And again, 10 years. See, Jake thought it was over. It's been a couple years. You got that loan in 2020, 2021. You doubled up. You got one. You went and got another one up. And you thinking, hey, everything is over with. No. He just said, give us 10 years. We're going to get all of you. and I've got the agents to do it. The FBI is on the job. They're all going to be working in unison to get rid of everybody that went and took advantage. Everybody that, bit the carrot on the string. Okay. During a signing at the event held on the balcony of the White House on Friday, Biden underscored that it was essential to extend the statute of limitations for certain pandemic fraud to 10 years to make sure fraudsters can't run out the clock. So he's coming. Look at this. My message to the cheats out there is this: you can't hide. We're going to find you. We're going to make you pay back what you stole and hold you accountable under the law. Thus saith slow Biden. So be on the lookout and beware. Let's look at this. Let's look at this. Trump warns terrible things. This is a quote. Terrible things are going to happen in the U.S. after the sneak attack known as the FBI raid. That's code for him saying, get busy, y'all. Look what they did to your look what they did to your Messiah. Let me play this.
Californians have a choice between two initiatives on sports betting. Prop 27 generates hundreds of...
Watch this.
Somebody said it's Trump's trade war. This isn't my trade war. This is a trade war that should have taken place a long time ago by a lot of other presidents. Over the last 5 or 6 years, China's made $500 billion. $500 billion. Ripped it out of the United States. And not only that, if you take a look, intellectual property theft, add that to it, and add a lot of other things to it. So somebody had to do it. I am the chosen one. Somebody had.
You see how you look up to the heavens?
I am the chosen one.
I'm gonna play that one more time.
I am the chosen one.
This is what the damn, bucktooth Edomites out in Arkansas, Alabama, the rich ones out of New York and everywhere else really believe that. When they seen that, they got chills up their spine, man. Women's undergarments got wet.
One.
Hello? He says that, man, and they really believe it. So when he puts out this particular type of messaging, is he prophesying? Terrible things are going to happen after the U.S. sneak attack. Well, let's see. We covered the man that the Edomite man that went over to the IRS agency in Ohio, got put to death. Look at this. Here go another one. Man fatally shoots himself after driving car into barricade near the U.S. Capitol. Police did not determine motive for the man's actions, but no indication was targeting members of Congress who was in recess. But this was after the FBI raid for Trump, right? Look, he Pennsylvania man arrested after alleged threats to the FBI. This was just yesterday. So the wind-up dolls and the Trump zombies are just now trying to get loose. They're just now trying to figure out, okay, who's going to be the first one? Who's going next? You understand? So this is what he's out here promoting. And now we're hearing words about, is America ready for a civil war? Look at this. All the patriots are ready. The next civil war is already here. We just refuse to see it. Why the U.S. military isn't ready for civil war? All these particular headlines, everybody talking about civil war now. Will there be a second civil war in America? Growing calls for civil war. Trump supporters are calling for civil war after FBI search. They was already frontlining at Mar-a-Lago when the raid happened. I showed y'all some of the images and the reports. So here he is, the chosen one. The chosen one has declared terrible things are going to happen in the U.S. after the U.S. sneak attack on the FBI. So that's a call to arms. That's out there letting the people know, listen, they did your savior wrong. They did your Messiah wrong. This is a sneak attack. They're setting me up. Act now. I still am going to be your president in 2024. Let me get over this little hump that they're trying to get on me. They want my tax returns. They think I stole nuclear confidential information. They took my passports. They gave his passports back. He's out here telling them, look, let me get over this hump. I'm going to run again in 2024. Hope will return. I've died and I've resurrected. That's what he's trying to put in these Edomites' minds, man. So they out here running wild. They're running wild. Okay. So that's what he's out here promoting. All right, let's look at this. The first lady then got hit. She got that DVAC 91. You want to know how many times she followed protocol? You want to know how sore her arm is? Well, just look at this. The 71-year-old first lady who was and do you see that? I'm not going to say, you know what it says. The first lady who was double and twice is experiencing mild symptoms. Oh, isn't that nice? See, they try to make it sound as if, well, the reason why the symptoms are only mild is because she followed protocol. When her husband was running around saying, hey, look, folks, if you follow protocol, you're not going to get it. That was being promoted all over the place. And then once they started saying, we can't go that far, that's a little extreme. That's an obvious lie. Oh, well, if you do get it, the symptoms will be mild. Don't worry. So that narrative changed. Okay. So the first lady then got hit. And she did everything she was supposed to do to make sure she didn't catch this thing. But no. Sorry, Jill. You didn't got hit too, honey. Isn't that nice? Mm. And she must have been Slow Biden must have not been quarantining accordingly because or isolating because how she get it? Well, let's leave that alone. Okay. Isn't that the pot calling the kettle black? Oh, look at this. Oh, Pfizer CEO Albert Bourla. Test what? You telling me that Frankenstein, Dr. Frankenstein himself couldn't stop the program? Whoops. And of course, the same line is being said. Oh, it's all mild. Really? So Pfizer CEO, he gets hit. I had a video of him talking about how he had they got to get rid of, I think he says 60 million doses because nobody wants them, or it might have been 30 or 60 or 30. Let me see if I can find that. Hold on. Let me see if I can find it. If it's on YouTube, it might not be. I don't see it on here, but it's okay. I know where to get it. But nonetheless, he's talking about how they got to throw away so many because people don't want that thing. But anyway, so he got it. Oh, he's isolating and he's on Paxlovid. Well, good for him. Oh, he's got to make an announcement. I would like to let you know that I have tested, you know, plus sign for that thing. I'm thankful to have received. Really? How do you not be a hypocrite and say this is crazy? This is how they continually push the narrative of brainwashing and folly. If this was you, would you be saying, I'm thankful to have gotten 4 times the sore arm? Oh, that's what the mild symptom. Oh, okay. Not damn, I got it. I did this thing 4 times and I still got it. I mean, what's the point? A normal rational person would have that attitude. They put out the conditioning. No, it was a good thing. And you still got it. Some of you guys 2 and 3 times. Isn't that great? Oh yeah, so what, you got hit 4 times and it didn't work. It didn't stop anything. You should be thanking me that you only have mild symptoms. Give me a break, man. One more. Who else? Look at this. Defense Secretary Austin. He got hit. For the what? Mm. Something's going on at the White House, man. There must be you know, little ground zero of infections going on. A lot of people coming out that White House got it. Look at that. All right. So Lloyd Austin, he got hit. You can look him up. He's a Jake. And guess what? He got everything he was looking for and still got hit twice. Imagine that. So imagine that. What's the incentive? What's the incentive for doing this? Is there one? I mean, y'all can see. Y'all can see. All right. Look at this. Charlottesville's first black woman police chief fired as officers refused to comply. She gets fired because white man said, we ain't working for you, nigga. After a midsummer meeting in June 2021, newly hired police chief Rochelle Brackney felt the need to double down on her personal safety. Unholstering her gun as she left headquarters, Brackney's fear, however, was not prompted by the activity on the streets or even the ongoing public threats made against the police department over the years. Instead, she found herself afraid of her own subordinates, cops who wanted her gone after making some controversial yet necessary shakeups throughout the force. If you guys have ever heard of this movie, I think it's called Blue Shield. No, had Ice Cube, I think. Ice Cube and Cuba Gooding. Hold on. Blue. Ah, dang. What's the name of that movie? Blue Code. Code Blue. Hold on. Let me see. It was a. I'm pretty sure Ice Cube was in it. This was like early off when after he did Boys in the Hood Friday, 20 Jump Street, no, 3 King, Barbershop, Book of Life, Barbershop, Higher Learning. Dang. That's not it. It was early off. Like maybe it wasn't Ice Cube. Let me see. Maybe it was Cuba Gooding. lucky, y'all. I'm trying to think if I can. Because there was this movie, and it was about this Jake that was a cop. And I think one of the Edomites had either did some dirt or he killed a Jake. And he was the only black cop on the force. And he went ahead and testified against the cops that killed the Jake. And because there was this, blue badge of honor, this blue code where they don't snitch on each other. They basically turned him out, man, and tried to run him up out of the force, and was writing nigger on his locker and all kind of stuff. Dang, y'all, I'm sorry, man. I can't remember the name of the movie. It was something blue, but I just can't remember it. If you know what I'm talking about, man, put it in the comments for me. Put it in the comments for me. Anyway, I don't want to deter too much or be too much longer. But nonetheless, I mean, we see here, man, the sister, number one, first black female police chief working with a gang of Edomites. She's scared for her own life because of her subordinate employees. She's fearful that they're going to kill her, not the Jake on the street. Look at it. That same year, an internal probe was being conducted of the 15-member SWAT team, according to a report obtained by the Washington Post. There were more than just a few issues that required addressing. There was evidence of several officers making racist remarks. One text in particular read that they should take out the command staff. While Brackney found this concerning, most others on staff blew the comment off. The report additionally found an officer training a new hire on how to hide misconduct. And we're reading this, right? Internal probe was done. They're seeing racist remarks, being taught how to hide misconduct, and guess what? She still gets fired. She still gets fired. Isaiah 10 and 1. Woe unto them that decree unrighteous decrees and that write grievousness which they have prescribed, to turn aside the needy from judgment and to take away the right from the poor of my people, that widows may be their prey and that they may rob the fatherless. This is exactly what Esau does. This is the type of, this is why you can't, look at this in Proverbs. This is why there's no negotiating with this man. You can't sit up there and act like, oh, I'm going to go down the force. I want to change things. I want to make things right again. Oh, no. 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 You still a nigga at the end of the day. You're a nigga that got a shot, but they don't give a damn. Proverbs 11:21. Though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be punished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. No matter how much you want to have this Hands Across America movement, no matter how much you want to sit back and think like, there's nothing wrong. The so-called white man, they're all great. The police force, there's the good guys out there in the force and all of that, man. You can't trust them. You got people working on the force with you who's supposed to get your back. And this sister was the police chief and she couldn't trust him. Now you even seeing the whole entire system is backing that whole framework up, because here you are having plenty of proof of corruption and folly going on in your department and you get fired for it. Brackney had only been hired 4 years prior in the wake of the infamous Charlottesville riots in 2017 as Unite the Right members and allies filled the streets with terror and white supremacist hatred. The day's events led to the death of 32-year-old Heather Hayard. That's what we're talking about when the little white supremacist Edomite ran her over at the protests in the Charlottesville riot, and severe injuries to several others after James A. Fields drove his car through a crowd and protested against the presence of white nationalist groups. The hiring of the city's first black woman police chief was intended to be a step in the direction for an area that dealt with underlying racism and systematically oppressed issues long before that fateful day. Her role was to help the city save face. So she was a token hire. Do you understand? Not necessarily because of qualifications, not because they felt as though she was going to be good for the job. It was a token hire. The hiring of the first city's black policewoman was intended to be a step in the direction for an area that dealt with underlying racism and systematically oppressive issues. Did that work? No, she still fell victim to the same systematic oppressions. Why didn't it work? Because of the insincerity of the so-called white man. They think, oh, progressive white man hired us. They're not all bad. Really? They only did it to save face of the reputation of Charlottesville. And they wanted to restore the public trust in government again. However, not long after Bragdon was sworn in, she was already catching a glimpse of the challenges she was to encounter in the upcoming years. And her first few years, the new chief says she was approached in the hall by a commander who told her, quote, "I voted Republican and I don't drink any effing pumpkin lattes." Whatever that's supposed to mean. Hold on, let me see. Look at down here. Ultimately, the department was left with a third of its positions opened after many officers have been fired or willingly resigned. Boyles fired Rochelle Brackney on September 1st of last year, and the former police chief is now suing for both gender and race-based discrimination. Good luck with that, honey. Good luck with that. Because they already showed you that the system is corrupt and wicked, and you thinking, oh, they love me. Oh yeah, I know I gotta clean up some of these rednecks in here, but they're gonna know I'm a strong black woman, and we're gonna no. You still got the short end of the stick, man. You still living under these curses. Do you understand? That's what's going on. Lastly, y'all. Look at this. Look at this disgrace.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted, because of how you've been honoring me.
Hold on. You see how the pastors are talking to their flock now? That's how I know you're poor, broke, busted, and disgusted. Well, what did Gino Jennings say? Or Gina Jennings? Which one is it? I forget his name. What did he say? You filthy, unholy, dirty black skin? Is this how the pastors are talking to the flock now? I mean, where are you Christians at? Is this how you're being spoken to? And you talk about the Israelites. Oh, they're abrasive. They're harsh. Guess what? They're abrasive. They're too loud. They're scary. But you ain't got no problem with your pastor calling you broke, busted, and disgusted, filthy, dirty, unholy black skin. But we're the ones. Go to 2 Corinthians. We're the ones that's out of pocket and speaking in our approach. When the Lord said to cry aloud, spare not, lift up that voice like a trumpet. When we follow biblical protocol, when we're out there passionately screaming and yelling and pleading for our people to repent and to wake up, that's misconstrued as, oh, you're angry. Oh, you're aggressive. Oh, you're being abrasive. Hey, your approach is offensive. Oh, you know what? You'll get more bees with honey. Maybe sweeten up the message a little bit. We're not playing them games. You want to get back and get prostituted out of the whole house, then go on in there and get sweet talked. And then when you ain't being a good hoe, your pimp talks to you like that. You broke, busted, and disgusted. That's why the Lord ain't dealing with you. That's what you want to hear? Let's read the 2 Corinthians 11:6. But though I be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. So listen, Paul said it himself. He said, I may not be the most eloquent. I may not be the most one that's going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm going to tell it to you straight up. There's a parable where the scriptures even talk about Christ being an austere man with the parable about the talents. That was a representation of the talents and the spiritual gifts that's given to you from the spirit of Hamashiach Yahushua. and it's not being utilized. And the servant that buried the talent, he came back and said, "Thou wicked and slothful servant." You're gonna have weeping and gnashing of teeth, paraphrasing. You dig what I'm saying? I mean, Moses put somebody to death for his brother. Nehemiah was threatening to knock Jakes out if they kept selling and defiling the Sabbath. Paul saying, "Hey, I might be rude in speech, but check my knowledge. If I'm telling you wrong, correct me. But if I'm giving you knowledge, if I'm giving you understanding, if I'm giving you wisdom, if I'm giving you the keys so that you can understand the knowledge of salvation and who you are and history and archaeology and everything else, and if I'm being rude in speech because I'm tired of the lies, I'm tired of the folly, I'm tired of the wickedness, deal with it." The Lord said, "Yet not knowledge, but we have been thoroughly made manifest among you in all things." So Paul said, look, you can see me in everything. I'm well-rounded. And it's all going to be made manifest. So don't get easily offended because a brother is speaking with passion. That's what you see out of the Israelites on the highways and the byways. Not psychopaths out there just yelling crazy. No, that's the passion. That's the spirit of the Lord projecting out of brothers' mouths, man. As the scriptures tell us to cry aloud and spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and show my people their transgressions. Isaiah 58:1. But you ain't got no problem when the pastor's sitting up there tap dancing and glitter bugging all up and down the pulpit, sliding up and down the stairs, running up and down the damn aisleways, inciting spiritual demonic riots in the damn church. You ain't got no problem with that, do you? He can yell and scream and sweat up a storm and wipe his face and mouth foaming at the mouth every other damn minute on Sunday. He can do that, but the Israelite, you can't do that. Hold on. Go to Isaiah. I believe it's chapter 5. No, Jeremiah 5. Look at this. Jeremiah 5:7. How shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me, and have sworn by them that are no gods, and I have fed them to the full. They have committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in the harlots' houses. You know, the churches is harlot houses. All manner of spiritual fornication, wickedness, unrighteousness, unlawful behavior is being committed in many of these churches. I'm not going to say everyone because I haven't been to everyone, so I can't say I'm witnesses to that. But every time that we hear about horror stories that's being projected out of the church, all of them are teaching false doctrine according to the Bible. You got some that are trying to compromise a little bit, like Gina Jennings. You know, he'll include the Apocrypha in his teaching, but at the same time, he still want to push and dumb down normal Christianity. One minute he wants to condemn the false image of Christ as being as an idol, and then the next minute he wants to talk about, well, he had a white head and brown body. I mean, it's the type of foolishness that's going on. And now you wonder why you can have your preacher in Kansas City speak to you this way because the pimp is mad that you ain't bring in that money. Being spiritual.
See, that's how I know you still poor, broke, busted, and disgusted because of how you've been honoring me. I'm not worth your McDonald's money. Come on. I'm not worth your Red Lobster money.
Look at that. And I don't know if that's an Edomite. I don't know who that is, but he's got the priest collar on, so they all confused. I mean, is this a Catholic church? Is this a Christian church? You know, he got the neon lights. The presentation is all there, right? These people are lost as hell. You see what it said? Kansas City pastor calls out his congregation for not buying him a watch. And he wants to talk about McDonald's money. Nigga, you know damn well there ain't no McDonald's money that's going to buy you that watch that you want. So don't act like people are holding out on $10 and $12. Do you hear their reactions? Oh, Lord Jesus. Oh, the idiot in the front here with the mask on, still wearing a damn mask. waving his hand as if this is a strong testimony. You see him? Can I get a witness? And you raising your hand saying, yes, I'm that wicked and vile congregant who can't buy you that watch. Yes, I won't give you that money. You're testifying to that? I mean, what's wrong with these people? They're sitting out here encouraging him to continue battering them for not giving him money, for not giving him gifts. They're encouraging him to, yeah, that's how you see it's a pimp and hoe relationship. Do you understand what? That's why I said harlot houses. The prostitute comes back and says, Daddy, I ain't make no money. You get your head knocked off. And he says, get back out there and give me my damn money. And she crying, talking about, oh, I'm sorry, Daddy. I'll get your money. I'm going. Hurry up and get your ass out there. Whop, 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 whop. You're right. You're right. I got to go. I ain't coming back till I bring you that money. This is the same thing that's going on in this damn church. Look at him. Yes, beat me. Whip me spiritually with them words of reproof and rebuke because I didn't give you what you wanted. Daddy.
Me.
Look at this hoe right here. Look at him waving his hand. Listen to them.
I'm not worth your McDonald's money.
Come on. Come on.
I'm not worth your Red Lobster money. I ain't worth your St. John Nick. Y'all can't afford it no how.
I don't know what St. John Nick is, but here he is talking about some expensive item and then clown them and said, y'all can't afford it anyway. Oh, so now he wants to flash his knowledge of expensive items and then wants to, I was going to say the word, but S-H-I-T, on the intelligence of the people and their financial situation. So if you already are saying the people can't afford this anyway, why the hell are you out here trying to talk about what your congregation didn't buy you? If you are condemning them for saying they don't have money, and then in the same breath you're condemning them for not having money, I mean, how wicked and how demonic is this guy, man? And these weird ass zombies are sitting in here clapping and encouraging him to whip them some more spiritually with his words.
I ain't worth y'all Louis Vuitton. I ain't worth your Prada. I'm not worth your Gucci. Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon, it is not with respect of want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying. I even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can.
Look at it. Yes, you can. The Negro ain't brought out near scripture yet. You see? They talking about Movado watches that you can go buy at Sam's Club. And he acting like y'all too cheap to even go to Sam's Club and give me my watch. And here they are patting him on the back, encouraging him to continue on. As he stands all effeminate. Look at his stance. Down there pigeon-toed, wearing a damn Catholic priest collar. Look at him. He acting like he gotta go take a dump or he gotta use the bathroom.
Mother, I'm saying this, and I promise you, Deacon, it is not with respect of want. I'm saying it because I want you to understand just what God is saying.
You see what he said? It's not with respect of want, but I'm saying it because this is what God is saying. It is because you want, you liar. I'm not worth your McDonald's. I'm not worth your Prada, your Gucci, your Johnson. Oh, y'all can't afford that anyway. Look at his legs and his stance, man, like he got to take a piss or something. Rubbing all up against himself, man. Just the talk of money is turning this dude on.
Even found out that Movado, you can buy a Movado watch in Sam's.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
And y'all know I asked for one last year. Here it is the whole way in August. I still ain't got it. Y'all ain't saying nothing. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters.
Wow. Wow. Let me kick down the door and talk to my cheap sons and daughters. I asked for the watch last year, and I still ain't got it. This is the state of affairs that we're in. And since then, The shamed Negro then came and offered an apology. You know, now he wants to. Let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can see if he got it online yet. We got him on Donkey the other day, as he should be. Uh, but I don't know if they got his apology yet. But nonetheless, he came out and gave an apology. Um, I mean, y'all seen this guy too. The pastor over there in Brooklyn that got set up on the little robbery and all that other madness. And who knows if that was real. But anyway, he offered an apology after the fact, a little groveling apology. I was looking for the video, couldn't find it. But nonetheless, he offered a little groveling apology after he went viral. The nigga wouldn't have said nothing if he didn't get caught slipping and somebody wasn't filming it. He'd have continually shamed that church until he got that damn watch. Our people better wake up, man. And them ignorant zombies are sitting up in there encouraging this dude, talking about the Movado watch you can buy at Sam's. Yes, you can. Oh, Jesus. When are our people gonna wake up, man? That's why the Lord said, hold on, let me get the scripture in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 5:23. It says, but this people have a revolting and rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. That, oops, Shalakia. I don't think I'm sharing it. Let me share it with y'all real quick. Look at this. You see that? Jeremiah 5:23 says, but this people have the revolting and the rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. That's the children of Israel for you. Revolted and gone. Rebellious and revolting. You can sit up there and get pimp slapped spiritually, man, all that time. Rebuked because you ain't coming clean. Because you ain't got the money that he wants. You haven't given him his desired gifts. And our people sat up there, man, took it right on the chin, man. Disgusting. Disgusting. That's it for me today, man. Blessed evening to the rest of y'all that's tuning in. And day, if you're catching this late or after the fact. But, it's a lot of madness going on, man. Most High permit, we'll get into some more stuff this weekend with another episode of DSTM. Before I sign off, make sure that you like, share, subscribe to the channel if you've yet to do so. Be sure that you wipe your feet. Show some common courtesy, man, when you come to the house. Wipe your feet. Hit that like button, man. Get the algorithms kicking in. Keep us alive. Because for damn sure, Satan is trying to cut off the windpipes of the prophets and teachers of the word of the Lord. Continually fear the Most High, keep the commandments, and lastly, don't shoot your messenger. Shalom.